Hey everybody, and welcome back to the J Lounge. Of course, you guys know I am your hostess with the mostest, Miss J, aka Miss Simone Jackson, here to bring you guys another wonderful episode of the J Lounge. Of course, y'all know out there, the J Lounge is a celebrity-based podcast show where we interview celebrities and have various topics and discussions. I am very, very, very excited about my next guest. He is an actor and he has starred in so many things. Let me go down the line here. I'm going to ask him during the interview, has he had time to sleep? Because this is a very long list. He has starred in things like Dreamcatcher, Fences, Hurt Village, Seven Guitars, Detour. He's also had a special guest appearance on ABC 7 Let's Talk Live. I remember that. I think that's awesome. He's also been on shows called HBO, Insecure, Ballers, CW's All American. Yay! The Rick Smiley Show. Love it. SWAT and Lucifer. I told you guys, I don't know if he sleeps. We will figure this out, though. We will find out. And he starred in more, also has a lot of things in his credit, big screen movie wise, like A Christmas Blessing, Her Only Choice, When It All Falls, and of course, music videos, because why not? He starred in stuff with Kanye West, The Baby, and French Montana. Ooh, French Montana. Nicki Minaj, Tyga. Again, people, we will find out if he sleeps. And he's also a stand-up comedian, just in case the list did not get any longer. Everyone, please get to know, love, and support this amazing rising star, because he's already dominating so many genres and so many different avenues already. Please give a warm welcome to Mr. Faith Malonte. Hi, Faith.
Hey, how you doing? Thank you. I really appreciate that amazing introduction.
Absolutely.
And as I was listening to you, I was like, oh, she's touching my heart right now. I know.
This man's a triple threat. I'm just wondering, is sleep anywhere in your schedule? Is it a concept to you?
Listen, I get 16-minute intervals. That's it. That's all I get.
Oh my goodness. I love it. Oh my goodness, I love it. I love it. So, Mr. Faith, I cannot wait for my audience to get to know you. But we're going to start off the first question here. What began your passion for acting?
What began my passion for acting? So, actually, I was when I was in high school. I went to a performing arts after school. Excuse me. I went to a performing arts school, a fine arts school, I should say. And so we had to do 2 years of fine arts in order to graduate, right? And so I was the football guy. I went to the school to play football, and that's all I was focused on. I'm from the DMV. I was born in DC, raised in PG County, Maryland, and so we were raised to play sports. You got to do something to get away from the streets, and so sports is typically the go-to. And it just so happened that I was athletic, so that's what I was focused on. However, at the school, I had to do 2 years of fine arts, so I did African dance and theater, and I also did tap dancing as well, because I danced too. But I did the production as a part-time dancer, and really more so as a drummer.
Mm-hmm.
And I was a class clown. I really smart. I'm a summa cum laude graduate, but always the class clown, to the point where people didn't even know that I was as intelligent as I am. So I was entertaining my class by impersonating our African dance and theater teacher. He was trying to teach, we were doing the play William Shakespeare's Macbeth. And he was trying to teach, the guy who was the lead at the time playing Macbeth, just pretty much give him some acting pointers. But the way his organic movement was, it was funny, it was very comedic. And so I thought, hey, let me try to make everybody laugh and be the class clown and impersonate. Long story short, everybody was laughing. They thought it was a big joke and everything, but they ended up encouraging me. The community ended up encouraging me and telling me, you're playing around and you joking, but you actually are really good, And so I always thought that it was just a community supporting me. We ended up doing the show, And it's, well, let me back up a little bit. He ended up recognizing my talent, making me an understudy. And then within like a week or two, I ended up taking a lead role. We had 4 shows, and out of those 4 shows, the first show wasn't sold out, but then the other 3 sold out after they saw the performance. I went on to sign autographs and stuff afterwards from people, my parents and stuff from the high school community, who basically were like, "Oh, we know you're going to make it one day, so we want your autograph now." But in my mind, you know, I still was stuck on football. I still felt like I was inexperienced. I had never acted before. I tried it. I was at like 12, 13. I wanted to be like a special guest on That's So Raven and do the little Disney thing.
Yes.
I had a callback for a audition for That's So Raven, but it was the same time as one of my football championship games.
No.
So you know, at 12, what I was thinking, all football, you know. But
Oh.
the love for the art, the love to entertain, the love to make people laugh, smile, cry, whatever, that always was a part of me. I always was someone who was like a chameleon in the room. And when I come into a room, I like to, you know, for my light to shine bright so I can just light the room up, you know. And so that always was a part of me. And I guess to answer your question, I know I talked a little bit, but I just wanted you to understand where I was in the beginning of my career. You know, the passion came and developed from the encouragement of other people recognizing the talent within me. So it was almost like, you know, it was like God was speaking to me through other people. And so I developed the passion, and I gave into what I shied away from because I was all focused on sports. And also in high school, you know, a lot of the corny guys, not to say, you know, I'm not, you know, saying like I was the coolest guy in the school. I mean, I was, but
You know.
theater, you know, my mature mindset at that time was like, oh, I'm not, you know, I ain't gonna dabble into that side of my talents and, you know, gifts and all that I didn't really even know I had, because I don't want to be considered corny. And so I developed my passion just from doing that play. And it just went from there. And so the icing on the cake, though, there were people in that program for 4 years who did theater in the whole fine arts program. They did theater, they did dance, from lyrical, jazz, tap, ballet, whatever, all those, you know, different forms of dance, the band, theater, arts, dance, art, all of that stuff, right? And so there were people in the program for 4 years. I only did my minimum 2-year requirement. The first year I did a show where I was Michael Jackson. Now, always Michael Jackson that's my GOAT right there. I love Michael Jackson. So I always impersonated Michael Jackson since I was like 3. So that wasn't like, for me, that wasn't acting. It was just me doing something I always loved to do. The following year, like I said, that was my junior year. The following year we did Macbeth, which was my senior year. And so at the end of the year, they did these fine arts awards, and the most outstanding fine arts performance from freshman year to senior year. And when I won that award, it just put in perspective the talent that I really had. And so it encouraged me, and it sparked the flame in me to be like, you know what, this is what I'm meant to do. This is my passion. This is what I love to do. I don't care about it being corny no more. This is what I'm broke out from. But essentially, you know, it all started my junior and senior year, when I was leaving high school. And so I won this most outstanding fine arts performance award, where people were in the program for 4 years. There was over 1,200 students in the program, and I won. That was just unfathomable to me. So that was the spark in my career. You know, it just allowed me to be like, you know, this is my passion. I don't care about it being corny. I know that this is what I really want to do or love to do. You know, is entertain people, make people laugh, smile, and cry and stuff. You know, so I went on with it.
Right.
That's when I went to Atlanta and I booked the Rookie Smiley show.
That is awesome. First of all, shout out to the community for encouraging you. That's awesome. This is what happens when we all can come together, support. So that's amazing. I'm glad they were able to support you.
America.
So, and for one, I also wanted to say, I think it's cool that you used to do African dance. I have always wanted to see that live. Always dreamed. I've never seen that live, and that's been one of my biggest goals? Because I think that is such a beautiful dance. I just think I
It's
love it.
beautiful.
Oh,
It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful.
I
And,
have.
and you feel so free. It's so much fun.
That's what
And like
I'm
really, when when your melanin popping, you
saying.
hit
Right.
beats, you get the hey, you get
You get the
man,
rhythm. You get the beat. You
you
start to
feel it.
feel it.
You feel it. It's internal. It's in our culture. It's in our blood.
Oh, I love it. I love it. But going on to the number two question, what roles do you gravitate to as an actor?
I gravitate to romantic comedies because they come natural to me. And what I mean by that is, I love to make people laugh. I'm a comedian. I have a lot of like organic and natural moments. I like to be present in a moment and just kind of fuel off the energy that's given to me, and I like to give it back. And so, with that being said, romantic comedies allow me to explore and just really play with my creative comedy side. So I definitely gravitate towards um, those roles the most.
Oh, that's actually interesting. I was expecting maybe action or maybe some drama, but romantic comedies, that's actually a refreshing answer.
Yeah, well, I like to be different. I like to be unique. Don't get me wrong. Will Smith is my favorite actor, so I definitely want to be an action star.
Right, right. But
um,
he's done
but
romantic comedies too.
yeah, drama. That's Hitch. Hitch is great.
Yes, I love it. That's my movie right there.
Yeah,
Oh,
and I'm definitely, of course, like even with dramas, like drama TV shows like Your Powers, your All Americans, shows like that. Definitely gravitate towards those type of roles as well.
oh yes, yes, totally agree with you on that one. Which actually kind of goes into my number three question there, Mr. Faith. What would you consider your dream role? Describe your dream role, your Oscar-winning role, to make it even more. If you had to get that golden statue, what do you
Yes.
think you would win it for?
Wow, that is actually a great question.
Yeah, that really puts gets you
It puts in
thinking.
perspective,
Yeah,
yeah.
it does. That's why I asked to put
Well,
it into real perspective.
you know,
Envision
um,
it.
well, I have envisioned me, winning the Oscar. I have, put myself there and accepting. I even have like a fake, little Oscar statue that I
Good.
actually
You can
when I was
envision it. You can see it. You can do it.
yeah, I envision it. I'm a firm believer in speaking things into existence.
Yes,
Um,
me too.
so visualizing, attacking, and pretty much creating the reality you want
Mm-hmm.
to see. So
Yeah.
I guess if the roles that I'm looking to do is romantic comedies, action, and drama. So I definitely see it being in one of those genres. But I guess the ultimate role would be like, I don't know, maybe like I'm like Will Smith's long lost son or something. And like I don't know, maybe like I don't know, like I'm his long lost son, and then he comes like, well, look, I'm describing Bad Boys 3 now. I thought about it, like I'm like, oh, I'm his long lost son. I'm like, that's Bad Boys 3. Oh my God. I should have been in that. That should have been my Oscar.
That should have been your role. That
Um,
should have been your role.
but I'm a firm believer in what's meant for me is meant for me, and what's meant for some.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so, but like you, just to answer your question, like I said, I think that a role with Will Smith or Martin Lawrence or Amari Hardwick, something like that, where I'm like related to them, and rather I'm like their brother, their son, their cousin, their uncle, or we opposing each other, something where we can just, get some real chemistry and bring the art to life, something that's fun
Yes.
and impactful to the masses. So that would be
I
what I would want to win for. And, typically Black men and women win for roles that you wouldn't think that they're going to win for. And they do, not to say they didn't do a great job in those roles, but you see other positive roles that they have done that you would think, for example, Denzel Washington. I love his work in John Q. And just,
Yeah.
I really think that, that father figure, that Black father figure in fighting for his child's life is a story that not only just need to be told, but needs to be seen in America, because a lot of the times Black men get a lot of, especially fathers, get a lot of flack and negative publicity. And you
I
have great
totally agree with
fathers
that.
out there who, such as myself and many others, who, who really are impeccable, so yeah.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Kind of like Will Smith in The Pursuit of Happiness,
Exactly. And
just
so that's where I was going. Like, maybe when I was thinking of it, I was like, oh, maybe like a Pursuit of Happiness too. Like, we're like, okay, like he, you seen him get on his grind, and then he ended up doing well afterwards. He had the other son, and then he finds out that he had a long lost son that he forgot all about, but now he could take care of him because he got the money from the end of them, and that's me.
right. Yeah, that was a
So,
beautiful movie. Very beautiful movie. If anyone hasn't seen it, I highly encourage it. Very, very, very beautiful. And just Will Smith gives one of the best performances in his career, hands down.
yeah.
But yeah, no, I totally understand. I definitely agree with you. We definitely need kind of more positive roles for, to like win Oscars. It doesn't always have to be dramatic, and something
Yeah,
tragic doesn't always have to happen, or we don't have to
exactly.
put in situations that,
Mhm.
lightheartedness, like Will Smith trying to be a good father in Pursuit of Happiness.
Right.
That resonates with a lot of people who are just trying to be good parents, trying to do whatever they can for their kids, they try to do their
Yeah.
best. A lot of people can, I think connect with that more than they can with, just tragedy and violence all the time. I think that's, a lot more that people can connect with, trying to be a good dad, trying to, make the best out of life. So I definitely agree with you there. We definitely kind of need more uh, roles for that, for, Black people to get so they can win the Oscars for it, because it doesn't always got to be tragedy.
Exactly.
We can
Exactly.
smile, we can be happy, we can be funny, we can be goofy and whatever. We can have a good time and be silly. So it doesn't always have to be serious, Cousin Greg, because I don't know what Black people they've been hanging out with, but Black people I know always are laughing.
Yeah.
Yeah, life sucks, but they have that attitude, well, I'm still going to strive and still continue to move on and do the best I can for myself and family. But I'm still going to laugh about it. I'm still going to have a good time. I'm still going
Yeah.
to, you know, I'm all around them all the time. So I don't know what.
Exactly. Exactly. Those are stories we want to see, positive Black stories, like you said, great role models, leading by, or as a father, or as a business entrepreneur, or, as a rapper, as a, comedian, whatever the case may be, even if, another great role would be like I don't know, like a biopic of, some of the popular comedians, because we have a lot of comedian actors like Martin, Eddie Murphy, Cat Williams, Chris Tucker.
Exactly.
And you can go down a list of people, who are amazing, so.
Exactly. The comedy scene wouldn't be the same without them. It wouldn't, they changed, and, the face of comedy. So I totally get you there. Totally get you there. I'm surprised we haven't done like one on Steve Harvey or Bernie Mac. I'm really surprised we haven't done one on Bernie Mac.
See, let me tell you something about Bernie Mac. If I was dark skinned, I would do the biopic myself. I would get out
Oh
there.
God, please do
Now
it.
that can't be Bernie Mac, bring him back to life.
Oh my God, please play Bernie. Please play Bernie. Let's make that happen. Let's do it. Okay, any director out there that's listening, can we please get Bernie Mac on the big screen, please?
Listen. They need Bernie Mac on Saturday Night Live. They need to
Yes.
dress me up and get me in there. I need to win an Emmy for the Bernie Mac.
Ooh,
Give me.
yes. Yes, become an EGOT. That's right. Emmy, Golden Globes,
Yes.
Oscar,
Yes.
Tony. Let's go
That
for it all. Heck,
that is a
let's get a
career goal.
Grammy. Why stop there?
Look, listen. I love Future, and they gonna think I won a Grammy. They gonna think I won a.
Love it. Oh gosh, love it. I'm really hoping people are listening out there. And speaking of directors, that goes to my number 4 question. Name 3 directors you would like to work with and why.
That's a great question. And then I kind of feel like if I leave out directors that I already worked with, they're gonna be like, "Now, Faith, you supposed to say me."
You know you're wrong. You are
Uh,
so wrong.
so I'm going to just spit out a list of them. So that I'm gonna just start big. It's no particular order. But I definitely would like to work with Tyler Perry.
Yep.
Definitely like to work with Ice Cube. And wise because those two, are actors, writers, directors, producers of their own stuff. And so that speaks to what my heart wants to do and what my mind and what I feel is a part of my journey.
Yeah.
So those are two men that I can just pinpoint and say like I was truly inspired by them. So definitely would love to work with them too. Gary would be great. Rest in peace to John Singleton. I would have loved to have worked with him.
Right.
And then people that I have worked with, like Jakarius Johnson, love to work with him again. Jorge Sanchez, would love to work with him again. Rob Hardy, he's from All American. And then I got to do two OGs, just to wrap it up, two OGs. And then I got to go, I got to be diverse too. I got to be diverse. So I'm going to do one Caucasian director as well, and that is Michael Bay. I would love to work with Michael Bay.
Yes, he's got his own world.
Direct action film of mine.
Yes.
He need to look. They need to come back, do Bad Boys 4, and let that son and let me in Bad Boys 4 or something. And we need to be and then I would also say Spike Lee and Robert Townsend.
Those would be good.
Yes.
Those are actually really good.
I purposely ended with Robert Townsend because I love a lot of his work. Like just respect directly as a director. Like I love his vision. I love his storytelling. I love the realism of it. I love that he tells Black stories. He has created Black superheroes. So I love Robert Townsend. I'm an oldies guy. Like I love oldies music.
Mm-hmm.
So the heartbeats like, ooh, nights like this, how wish raindrops would fall.
We did say Grammy, right? We did say we're coming for that Grammy. So.
I mean, all that.
Love it. I love your choices. Of course, Tyler Perry. Yes. Michael Bay. I do have to appreciate Michael Bay and the way he does action. So I totally am down with all those choices. Those are awesome choices. If they're listening in, we've got an actor who is ready to show off a triple threat chops here. Just saying, Mr. Faith.
Yes, right.
Anyway, so let's go ahead and get to him. Then number 5 question, where can the J audience follow you and your work?
You guys can follow me on Instagram, on all social media platforms. But Instagram is my go-to. It's Faith_Malonte. And then and that's, well, let me spell that. FAITH_MALONTE. It's the same, Faith Malonte on Facebook. On Snapchat, I don't be on Snapchat, so that doesn't matter. But yeah, that's where you can follow me and keep up with the latest. Faith Malonte.
Perfect. Make sure you guys.
Also, I am currently a series regular on the TV show Double Cross on UMC. And we're getting ready to have season 2 coming out spring 2021. So I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Awesome. I cannot wait for that as well. And I hope my audience, you guys keep up with that. Make sure you got his social media stuff, so make sure you guys keep up with that. Coming down to the last couple of questions. What goals do you hope to reach in your acting career? We all know an Oscar is already wanting to be in your future, but is directing, is maybe producing a series. What do you hope to accomplish in your career?
Yes, so as we spoke before, definitely looking to get an EGOT with more, drama and sitcom television shows and films and stuff like that. I would love to coach someone to get an Oscar or a Tony or a Golden Globe. I would love to be the coach of a recipient, an actor who's a recipient of one of those awards. And one of my goals to tie into that is to open up a performing arts after school program, because for the youth, because I believe the youth are the way of the future, and they can help create the change you want to see. And so, with that, I told you I was inspired by Tyler Perry. So, here in the DMV area, in the DC, Maryland, and Virginia area, we don't have a big studio like Tyler Perry just built
Right.
out there in Atlanta. So I would like to build a studio out here, where people can get the authenticity of DC when they shoot in DC, or Maryland when they shoot in Maryland, and things like that. Not just using so much B-roll. Um, so that's a goal. Also, I want to have a like a recovery homeless shelter type building, like a center where like everything is paid for, so they don't have to really worry about food, drink, a place to lay their head. As far as if they were on drugs, they can recover from them, and and also like getting them out there, so they can potentially get some jobs and just kind of change their life. So those are some goals, some career goals of mine, and just ownership. Ownership in all aspects, from owning land, companies, things of that sort.
That's awesome. Those are some really amazing goals. I love the wanting to do something for the homeless. I think that's great. I definitely want to be able to kind of create my own little something like that around here where I live in Port Orchard, because I think it's definitely important. And wanting to coach somebody to win an Oscar, that would be awesome, because that means not only are your acting skills, beyond incredible, but your coaching skills are beyond incredible, that you coach somebody to win an Oscar. So I would definitely brag about that. That is brag worthy.
Honestly, and you might not hear most actors say this, but honestly, I would be more proud to coach someone to win an Oscar before I would win one myself.
And that I have not heard that from an actor that I've interviewed before. That is a first. You should be proud.
Yeah.
That's awesome, though.
Yeah, I honestly would. And, I wouldn't, because at the end of the day, like I said, what's meant for you is meant for you, what's meant for me is meant for me. And, whether I get recognition for my Oscar winning role or not, if I was to coach the person who got the recognition, then, that's like my baby. I kind of helped you along the path to get to that pivotal point in your career. And so that, and then me accomplishing my personal satisfaction goals, or whatever the case may be. So yeah.
I totally agree. All right. Got just one more good question for you. What would you say is your favorite role that you've done so far?
Oh, hands down, the Double Cross Nurse Brian series regular role. Love it. I love Nurse Brian, and he's my favorite character thus far, because he's the first character who is so much different from who I am as a person. And so he has a lot more aggression. He's a lot more possessive. He's a lot more, he uses his, there are some similarities between us, but the way that he utilizes his like charm or charisma and stuff like that is a little different. Is used in a little more negative way than I use mine in real life, which is in a positive way. So I think that it was a challenging role for me. I didn't know the full extent of what that character was going to be when I did the audition, because the audition was the good part of Nurse Brian. So once I was able to book the role and see more of who he really was, then it was like, oh man, I don't know if I want to be portrayed like this on television. And I spoke with one of my mentors, and he was like, just step out on your faith. Your name is Faith. Step out on faith. And he was like, and just do something that's different from who you are, and challenge yourself, And so I took that advice and I did it, and it was amazing, So that's my favorite character and role.
Ah, love it. Love it. I love Nurse Rhino. Used to be one of my favorite shows. So that's awesome. That used to be one of my favorite shows. I used to look when that show was on. If you're out in the living room watching something else, you will get bumped, or we will move furniture in the living room. Your choice. But I'm being nice about it and warning you now. Either you can give up the chair, or we can move furniture. Your choice. I'm cool either way. So.
Right.
Uh, but Mr. Faith, it has been awesome talking with you. You have been absolutely incredible. Your goals, how you want your career to be, is very inspiring. And I am totally on board with you playing Bernie Mac in the biopic. If anybody's listening, we got someone who can do this here. He's really good. So, but I do appreciate you, speaking with us and speaking with me and speaking with my audience.
No, thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me on this show. I really appreciate it. It was a wonderful opportunity, wonderful time to, be able to speak to your audience, speak with you, and share my love for what I do. So thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And of course, my audience is going to adore you. They're going to adore this interview. So I appreciate you giving me your time again. As I was reading your bio, you are a very, very busy man. So I appreciate you taking your time and speaking with me. I cannot wait to see how much further your career goes. It's going to be incredible. So keep us posted, because we definitely want to be along for the ride.
Most definitely. And thank you. I really appreciate that.
Of course, you guys know this has been the J Lounge. I have been your hostess with the mostest. I definitely want to thank my guest, Mr. Faith Malonte, one more time for joining in, being really wonderful. And of course, you guys know I want to thank everyone for listening in. Make sure you guys stay tuned for another great episode. But until then, I want to say goodbye to my guests and goodbye to the audience. And I will be back soon.
All
Bye.
right. Have a good one. Thank you, guys.